Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about rule of power number 3. Everyone lives for surprise, including you. Welcome to the channel. This is a place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there, ready and waiting to be activated by you, through you, and for you. If that sounds good, please subscribe. We'd love to have you join us on the channel. Continuing our Rules of Power series, using the element of surprise to your advantage. When you think about the moment you're on your deathbed and your life is flashing before your eyes, what are you going to remember? What are you going to remember? Is it going to be the 476th time you ate oatmeal for breakfast? Or is it going to be the things that left an impression on you? And usually those things are the first time, right? When you first saw your spouse, when your first kiss, your first trip out of the country, right? Usually surprise, novelty, I'm using those words interchangeably today. They create an impression on us. They do something to our brain. Our brain loves novelty, right? The experience of like, ooh, it's like a tickle. It's a tickle for our brain of the first time we experience something. There's nothing like the first time, so they say. And it's true. It's true when you think about it. And I've talked before about novelty. I think I made a video about this, rearrange time and space with novelty. I might have, but novelty and time are tied together. I just saw an article this morning about how if you want to extend time at the end of your life, right? What happens is that time, we perceive it, we experience it it goes very fast when there is nothing exciting and novel and new and surprising happening, right? We, again, eat our oatmeal for the 722nd time. We go to, we get stuck in our routines, and this doesn't create new memory. The article is great, had a great saying that said, our memories are impoverished. They're poor memories. They're very thin memories because they blend in with each other, right? It is a novelty. It's surprise. It's something different that punctuates, right? The din of time. It punctuates it. And so the article, I'll link it below in the description box, talks about the importance of novel experiences as an older adult. Right? If you want to extend time, if you want to draw out time, then do new stuff, and live, use surprise to your advantage. So you can use surprise to your advantage to literally shape your experience of time, to draw it out, right? To give yourself new memories that you're laying down that actually are like, whoa, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm still creating these novel experiences for myself that makes it feel like my life is extending, like my beingness is memorable instead of just blurring into the monotony of everyday life, right? And slipping away before my eyes, because that's what happens. And like I said, on our deathbed, we're going to remember the stuff that was memorable, that was remarkable. And usually that's the first time or something that surprised us or that was unusual. So that's literally who we are in the moments before we go away. We cease to exist, or whatever you believe. I believe we keep going, but in this lifetime, right? That's what we lived for, was the surprises. That's what we lived for. We are a collection of novel experiences, the things that stood out for us. So use that to your advantage with yourself, to keep growing, to keep learning, to slow down time, to appreciate and enjoy where you are by doing something differently, right? Doing things a different way, breaking out of your routine every once in a while to remember that you're alive, right? And you're not just the creature of your habits. But also everyone else lives for surprises too. This is a power, the power of surprise, the human connection to surprise, for it to really leave a mark on us. Everyone else operates the same way. And the one way to be forgotten is to not be surprising, to not be different, to not stand out, right? So take people by surprise, because the quickest way to make people feel like they're in a game is when you abandon the rules. When you abandon the rules. Think about Monopoly. Think about, I played a lot of Monopoly as a kid, and there were 1 or 2 times when whoever we were playing with, and it was always just people visiting the house, friends, family, whoever, we would always sucker them into playing with us. Somebody would quit playing. They would literally be like, no, I'm not playing. I'm not playing this. And that kind of jolted us out of like, oh my gosh, this is a game. And I didn't know they had that choice, right? Because we're all sitting down and assuming, predicting that we're all going to play this game and play by the rules. And, that was like that was a really quick, decisive way out to be like, I'm done. I'm not playing this anymore. And that jolted all of us out of like, whoa, okay, this was a game. Because you forget that you're in your own predictions. You forget you're in your own game because you're following the rules. Everyone else is following the rules. And this applies in larger games of like lawsuits and arguments and anything else that comes up where it's a subtle social game. And so when you abandon the rules and do something totally unexpected, people wake up out of that. It wakes them up because what it does, it's called a pattern interrupt. It's called a pattern interrupt or a prediction error. Their prediction of how you were going to behave, that you were going to drag this out a long time, or you were going to keep playing until you lost. It wakes us up out of the 90% of our predictions, because again, 90% of our brain activity is predictive. So we're in our head simulating, forecasting what's going to happen. And that last 10% or less is our sensory data. So it shakes us out of our predictions and we're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And it's called prediction error. And so you can force that. And I'm not saying in like a creepy, like you can invite people out of their own head and into the moment with you. With surprise, because they weren't predicting you to do that. This is great for presentations, right? Because if you give a presentation and no one remembers what you said, you were completely forgettable. This is the way to grab attention, grab power, right? It grabs attention. That's what you're doing. Of our 3 capacities that I constantly talk about: attention, story, and habits. It grabs their attention in a way that knocks them out of their habit and startles them just enough to be like, whoa, okay, what do I do now? And then you have the power. You have the power then to guide them into an experience. You have the power to have their presence and their attention momentarily, or, if you use this as a longer term strategy, they're always going to be guessing. What are you up to? What theatrical thing? What entertaining thing? What interesting thing are you up to? That's why I wore bright pink today. Surprise. Surprise. Again, when people don't know what you're up to, they never, that kind of lingering element of mystery. That's very powerful. That is very powerful, very attractive, very compelling, very, it draws you in. It draws us in as humans because we live for surprise. Everyone lives for surprise. We are an amalgamation of the surprises in our life, right? The remarkable things that happen to us, the twists, the turn, the plot twists, the oopsie daisies that turned out amazing, right? Those are the juiciest stories where it looks like one thing is happening and then the plot changed. So everyone lives for surprise, including you. So withdrawing the expected emotional response from a situation, if you don't respond in a way people are expecting you to, you surprise them. Surprise yourself. Extend time by learning new things, surprising yourself, interrupting your own routines. And then in that creative act, you are very powerful. You're very powerful to yourself in your own experience. And you're very powerful in relation to others, because you have defied their forecast. You have defied their expectations. And you have exercised a type of autonomy that is not only very mysterious and attractive, but reminds you remind yourself that you are whole. The rule of power number 2, you're always whole. You could be anything at any time. And by activating that potential in front of people, you make it really obvious. You make it really obvious, and you dazzle. You dazzle. You dazzle yourself and you dazzle them. You dazzle the moment. And you bring it back to a state of potential where anything really is possible. And that, my friends, is powerful. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below. I'm happy to engage with you. And if you need a tool to help you recondition your mind into a more peaceful, positive, wonderful space, grab it below. There is a tool in the description box for free, always available to you there in every video I make. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.